So welcome back. This race was particularly enjoyable. Starting in 8th place, did a bit of work on the qualifying, managed to jump up a couple of places from the last one. Off in the thank you NHS Scirocco again. Scirocco definitely my car of choice for this circuit. It really does well around that long sweeping right-hander, the parabolic corner. If you get the line right, it really shaves some seconds off some of the others. So yeah, fairly uneventful start as we race towards the first corner. There's another Scirocco there, Rick, that I've raced previously today. Good clean racer, and the other Scirocco. So yeah, first corner, maintaining position, pulled away a little bit from the guys at the back, the Peugeot RCZ being a little bit sluggish. The GTR nips off the track, and there's a penalty there from the Mustang as well, which lets me get ahead of him a little bit. Trying to bully me off in the Mustang there. It does get ahead, but it's got a half-second penalty, which I know I'll get back at some point around the track. Just trying to get away from the GTR and the RCZ that are behind me. Want to focus on the Mustang. I wasn't sure if we'd get given the penalty at the penalty line this lap or if it would be the lap after. But I didn't want to ease up pressure. Fortunately, I think I also got a penalty myself there. Yes, I did, for extending over the track limits. So that put me back a little bit. Try not to get penalties because that can really hamper your race. Fortunately though, as we'll see soon, didn't hamper me too much in this one, managed to claw that back. The Mustang stopped at that penalty line. I'll take mine on the next lap. GTR's right up alongside, causing me some grief there, so I have to go defensive. I start moving towards the right. He then decides to go left, but give me the inside line. So I know if I can outbrake him a little bit, I can get the inside line and keep the position, which I do. The RCZ tries to follow me through, but we come out of that pretty good. So we end up into 6th place from 8th now, behind the other Scirocco of Rick, albeit I have got a half-second penalty, so I really do have the foot on the floor now, because I want to try and get that half-second penalty made up through the rest of the lap. So taking it wide on this corner, that's the line that I found is best for the Scirocco. And here we go, catching up now to the other Scirocco there. So it's nice third gear cut across there. You have to be careful with the track limits, but you can really shave some seconds off other people's time. I often find myself gaining seconds on cars through that corner, which is good. Unfortunately, in a moment, I'm going to end up serving my penalty for being naughty and going over track limits. So trying to pull away from the GTR as much as possible, but I also noticed that he's got a penalty as well, which is massively helpful. I think if he hadn't have got that, I would be in a lot more trouble. So here we go, penalty being served, brakes are on for half-second, and then back up. So maintaining 6th place, but obviously now I think I was about 2 seconds behind the Scirocco of Rick in front, which is obviously quite a way off. So nothing else to do but just get the pedal down, try and take the race in line and shave a few seconds off over the next lap or two. Hopefully enough to get into the slipstream. The cars behind are a little way off, so wasn't having to drive defensively at this point, which was useful as well. Some of those seem to cut that corner, so I think there must be some penalties coming up there, and there they are. Though they are closing in a little bit, I'm aware that they've got penalties, so as we come round onto the final straight, I know that that's going to buy me a bit of time. as long as I can stay in front of them now and not find my way being barged off the track. They both take that corner a little bit awkwardly, which gives me a bit of space, and entering the final straight, coming up in a bit at full throttle, lets me pull away from them. Also, there's a penalty up ahead as well, which I noticed was the other Scirocco, which is unfortunate because he's been a brilliant racer for all the races that I've seen him in today. I think it was just probably a track limit penalty, which happens to everybody at the best of times. So that enabled me to get right up close to the pack, kind of peloton at the front, which was really handy. So at this stage, anything can kind of happen. So still in 6th place, but now right up behind the other Scirocco again. The Citroen went off the track then, which enabled me to get the overtake on him. He did try to outbrake me here, went straight off the track, and then the Spanish guy then started doing some weird stuff, dive bombing across the track, going here, there and everywhere, and I never saw him again, so I'm not sure what happened there. But up into 5th now, behind the other Scirocco. And at this stage, I thought that was it, but then I noticed that both the 3rd and 4th place got a penalty. So all I need to do then is keep right on the back of these, and when we get onto the final straight, these cars will brake, and my theory is I can go flying past into 3rd. So after all that race, I didn't expect to be up on the podium, but let's see what happens. So trying to get as close as I can to the Scirocco. Only half a second, it's enough to pull him back, but it's not enough to be complacent, so just wanted to be as close as possible coming out onto the main straight. And here we go. These two cars are now going to slow down, pull over to the right just in case they unghost. The 2nd place is the other Brit, and in 3rd place there we are, only just in front of the other Scirocco. But that was a really enjoyable race, really good. So thank you for tuning in, and see you next time.